In this video, I'm going to try to answer one of the frequently asked questions. And the question is figuring out the root of your health problems. So, one of the things, I'm just reading now the message that the person posted on the forum. So, one of the things we hear the most is you have to figure out what is the root of your health problems. In other words, Candida, leaky gut, ileocecal valve problems are more like a symptom. Have heard this from a number of people who went on to live a healthy life. Wondering what some of you have done to diagnose, test your cause of Candida. Did you get your liver or kidneys tested, test for food allergies? Have always had a problem with fatigue, depression, brain fog, and draining hangovers just about my whole life. Was it liver? I don't know. I'm treating Candida, but don't want it coming back. Googling is a rabbit hole. Thoughts, experiences, question mark. Thanks, appreciate the input. So, whenever I read a message like this, I kind of get more questions that I would like to ask this person. I would like to ask more about his symptoms and everything else. So I'm gonna click on his username and check his history. Okay, so here we see that this person has been posting for about 14 months, and here is, let's say, one very old message. About 2 years ago I contracted molluscum. It cleared up in around 6 months, but with stress and a weakened immune system another folliculitis problem crept in. Because it has resulted in skin bumps of various sizes, fatigue, thrush on the forehead and penis head, I figure it's probably Candida. Also, how sensitive it is to diet, sugar, carbs, alcohol and caffeine. Recently started on Renew Life's Total Body Cleanser, 2 tablespoons of organic virgin coconut oil, a quality probiotic, and a scoop a day of Saccharomyces cerevisiae with 2 teaspoons of castor oil a week. In the last few days since starting, I got big rashy bumps around the hips and waist that usually only come up from excess alcohol or caffeine consumption. Could this be die off, or am I feeling the yeast parasite with the Saccharomyces, which is brewer's yeast? Put the brewer's yeast in my diet as I read from a post. It can push out Candida and the like, and read it had great effects during a placebo study. Supplement store guy told me, unlike the booze this stuff produces, it's not full of sugar or carbs that feed the yeast overgrowth. Any thoughts? Die off, not actually Candida, or am I just feeding this crap? Blah blah blah. Okay, so this can give us a little bit more. Bones popping, grinding, sore muscles in the morning. Blah blah blah. Question: you guys ever get bones popping, snipping, grinding while taking iodine? Okay, so he's been taking some iodine. So yeah, I've been going through the now reading few messages, and yeah, I can probably spend hours reading all of the messages that this person has posted, but instead I'm just gonna go and answer this question like more hypothetically. The question is, what is the root cause of my symptoms? And the symptoms are or has been persisting for quite a long time, with fatigue, with depression, with brain fog. Yeah, a lot of problems. And here comes the answer. the root cause of your problems is probably something that your grandma or your mom has done, like a root. Here are few possibilities. Let's say your mother has been using some medications. Let's say she was using hormonal birth prevention. Let's say she was maybe using antibiotics during pregnancy. Let's say she has taken quite a few vaccines. Let's say she was working in a factory and got exposed to some chemicals. Let's say she was a soldier in a war and get exposed to chemicals, get exposed to large number of vaccines that normal people usually don't get. So these are just the possibilities. I have no idea really what your mom has done or haven't done, but these are the things that can create a person like you. And then we go further from there. Uh, Also, your father might have been on some, let's say, psychiatric medications. You know, when the father is on psychiatric medication, it can affect a child and increase chances of child being more depressed, more having more problems. And now let's go to you yourself. Let's say when you were a child, how many times did you take antibiotics? How many times you've been given antibiotics? Yeah, ask your mother. She knows the answer. Your father, somebody knows the answer to that question. Those are the underlying causes of your problems. What vaccines did you get? What shots did you get? How often? Are you still getting them? Are you still taking any shots? So these are the problems. Now, you told I read a story where you said you've been treating for bacterial overgrowth and for yeast overgrowth on your skin. That generally means you've been treating with antibiotics. The problem you're facing is called a dysbiosis. All of the antibiotics, antifungals you have been taking until now, they have an effect on killing selectively certain number of microorganisms that naturally lives in your gut and leaving some others. And when that is done repeatedly, many times, sometimes simply the microbe, the microorganisms in your intestines cannot fully recover, and you have a problem. You have a problem called dysbiosis. The question is, how do you cure it? What do you do? I see you've been taking iodine. I see you've been taking many different things. You've been taking a lot of different things. So far, most of things you've been doing is taking anti to kill something. Like you take antibiotics to kill a bacteria, you take antifungal to kill a fungus. You've been selectively killing just some part of microbiome inside of your intestines, allowing for the other side to overtake. When that happens, it's very difficult to create balance, especially with a person who's been having problems like you all your life. These things anti-work for people who are very healthy, never had a problem, and they just take once antibiotic, solve the problem, goodbye, they have no problem again. People who live with the symptoms like you your whole life, you just can't take it. You can't just take anti something and create a balance. For you to create balance, you need something higher. And what it is? Here is the thing. Liver flushing. Your liver is a mess. You really need to start flushing it. Hulda Clark's liver flushes work fine. And Andreas Moritz liver flushing, he wrote a book about it. Great. Next thing, instead of killing selectively some microorganisms inside of your gut, consider bringing a complete new set of microorganisms there from a healthy person. It's called fecal transplant. You take feces from an extremely healthy person, you put it into your large intestine, and let it work for you. If it doesn't work after the first time, you try once more time and one more time, one day, next day, next day, next day. After 10 days, after 20 days, if you have found the proper donor, the correct donor, the healthy donor, it will work for you. So instead of killing things, you actually bring new things, but this time things that are in farm or balance. Because simply your intestines are total mess and you can't just bring them into total balance by killing something or continuing to kill something. What else could be your problems? Maybe you have dental metal. I mean, the question is not if you have it, the question is how much you have it and how much you are affected by it. Can dental metal be a problem? Can it be solved? Can drilling amalgam out of your teeth and replacing them help you? Maybe, I don't know. But it could be one of your problems. Maybe you have something else in your body, something else artificial put inside. I don't know. Consider the possibility. Maybe you're living in a house which has been exposed to humidity and where there is a black mold growing. Consider that possibility as well. Check your house, check your bathroom. People who are sensitive, they can smell fungus inside the house. They can smell the black mold inside the house. Some people, ask people coming to your house, do you smell something strange here? Maybe they can smell something. Maybe the house is built of a material which is very toxic, which keeps poisoning you constantly. A lot of toxic things have been used during the last 100 years for building houses and are still used today, some of them. Asbestos, it's nothing compared to some other things. So, well, these are a few ideas I just gave you. Coffee enemas can help also with cleansing the liver. Are you suffering from some allergies or food intolerances? You bet you do. You're definitely intolerant of coffee, alcohol, sugar, industrially processed food, and you should not consume them ever. Even if you manage to fix your health with liver flushing, with fecal transport, still you should not consume these things. You're probably too weak for them. So the diet is a big factor. What else can you do? Maybe instead of treating your skin with what you have been treating it with, try just using borax. Try generally using borax as a main thing when you wash your clothes, when you wash your body, when you wash your hair. Much healthier. You can even take small amount of borax and drink it, very small amount. What else can it be done in your case? I'm trying to figure out like what you have done, what you haven't done, what you should do. Well, I don't know. Let's just say this is for a start. This is more than enough. So I'll post this video as a reply to your message, and then if you have a few more questions, just ask. Okay. Thank you.